Here with Representative Merika Coleman-Evans
That's correct.
from District 57. Glad to be here in Montgomery with you.
Glad to be here.
Well, let's talk about this legislative session.
Yeah.
What are the hot topics we're going to hear in the next few weeks?
Well, of course, anything dealing with economic development is going to be a hot topic. It doesn't matter what party affiliation you're in. We're about creating jobs. Healthcare reform is an issue that we actually debated yesterday, and you'll see that over and over again throughout the session.
A situation.
To allow hospital personnel to opt out of procedures if it goes against the moral compass. So we had some lively debate about that yesterday. We'll have some debate about Medicaid, and of course we'll have huge debates around the budget, both of the budgets, the education and the Ways and Means general fund budget.
One important bill is the historic tax credit preservation with the Realtors. Your thoughts about that, and what will that do to impact areas throughout the state of Alabama?
I think that's a great bill. Again, that's one of those things that is nonpartisan.
Right.
It does bring beautification of older areas, and the district that I represent, of course, is an older area, what we call the first suburbs.
Yes.
So we're excited about something that will give us an opportunity to help rehab those buildings. I think about downtown Fairfield area, where we could use those historical tax credits, bring in some economic development. So again, it should be a non-controversial issue, something that I definitely support, and something that could really, around the state of Alabama, create some major change. I mean, to beautify a neighborhood, to beautify a downtown area, that's additional amenities, and that brings about community pride. So we're excited about that piece of legislation.
And there's a lottery system in place. I think they're going to look at tweaking that a little bit. And how about the limit as far as the cap in that legislation as it relates to the cap on the allocation appropriation of funding?
Well, actually, in all honesty, it's something that I'm not even well versed on.
Okay.
You'll have to give me a little bit more information on the cap. I mean, I'm just excited to have some type of avenue, where we can do some economic development in the areas that I'm concerned of, the areas that I love.
Well, one piece of legislation bill last year that you were very supportive was land bank legislation.
Yes.
And the impact that's going to have on municipalities throughout the state of Alabama. Your thoughts on that?
Again, I'm in an older area, so you have some dilapidated housing, you have some absentee landlords or absentee owners of properties, air property. Right. So this gives the cities and the counties, the municipalities, the opportunity to get that property, demolish it, put in infill housing, and create beautiful opportunities for an area. So we're excited about that. I actually have some constituents that are working with the local Birmingham coalition that has been formed to identify those properties again. And what I'm hoping will happen is that there'll be a pilot area. We can identify one area where we can do 2 or 3 houses on a street, and we can use that as a pilot to show, how the land bank really works. So again, another opportunity, nonpartisan. You all have been really good at some nonpartisan legislation lately that could create major change in the community.
And I would love to see, 10, 20 houses on a block.
Amen.
And just come back and rebuild and revitalize the urban community. Your thoughts about, steps moving forward in your leadership here, your committees, what are you involved with here as a legislature?
Sure. I serve on Jefferson County legislation. Of course, that's our local delegation. Right. Children and senior policies. Of course, I'm concerned about children and our senior citizens. Those are the most vulnerable citizens that we serve. Transportation, utilities, and infrastructure. I requested that particular committee because I really want us to not only look at rebuilding our roads and our bridges, which we need to do, but also looking at public transportation and the access that people have to getting to work, to getting to doctor's office. So I serve on that committee as well. And I was sharing with you earlier today that one of the things that we just talked about on that committee was making it easier for contractors to do community projects or to do public projects and be paid in a timely manner so they can, go on and be good citizens and be able to feed their families. But another one that I'm very proud of that I requested to be on, I'm on Ways and Means General Fund. We fund all the state departments, prisons, corrections, DHR, that comes under that committee. That has been the budget that has been struggling. We have some major issues there. I know it won't happen this year, but I'm hoping that after this quadrennial, we'll look at some revenue streams. I mean, we just have to. Medicaid right now is taking up a quarter of that budget, a huge chunk and corrections as well. And we've got to look at some things that are going to raise some revenue to sustain the state of Alabama. So I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, but the public has to trust that we as elected officials are good stewards of their money before they would even think about any additional revenue. So that's our job. To say, hey, this is what we have. These are our values. These are our priorities. But if you want, in the Education Trust Fund budget, if you want AmSty or the Reading Initiative fully funded, we need some additional revenue. So I'm hoping that in the new quadrennial, we'll look at revenue streams.
Well, the Realtors here at the Birmingham Association of Realtors, and what do the Realtors mean to you in District 57?
The Realtors have been very supportive, and actually, I had a wonderful conversation last night with the new president.
Yes.
And we talked about some things that I had no idea that you do. I'd love to have some education projects for you all to come out to my district and just talk to people about what are the things that they need to do to raise their property values or to sustain their property values. I had no idea that you all offer that kind of service. So I'm looking forward to us building an even bigger partnership where my game is community development.
Yes.
So we can help raise the quality of life of the least of these and sustain the middle class and have the more affluent folks to work with all of those folks. So I'm looking forward to that partnership where you all can come to District 57. We can do some education. We can revitalize the community and also bring some new families and children. And I know your realtors will be glad to sell some houses in our area.
Yes.
I actually live in the city of Pleasant Grove, which is a growing area. Beautiful homes, great school system. So we do look forward to that relationship.
Well, thank you so much, Representative, for your time here. I know you're busy. You have a very busy schedule with meetings, and we're just glad to be here with you and spend some time with you during this session.
Good. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.